Jack, thank you so much for joining us. It's so great to have you back on Bloomberg Television.
Thank you.
So the Secretary General, the UN Secretary General, asked you to stay on for another year advising on how tech can help level the playing field for small business.
Yeah.
What's your vision for that? How do we do that?
I think the world is shifting from big companies to small companies. And the small company means entrepreneurships. So I'm passionate about entrepreneurships. I'm passionate about small business. I think that's the solution for this century. Creative jobs, innovation, creative. Because small business, if you're not creative, if you're not innovative enough, you don't have a chance. So this is my passion about, and I believe this is also the future of this century, business.
You heard President Trump speak at the UN. What's your relationship like with President Trump?
Well, he's a very unique president, and we had a very good discussion last time, and talking about China-U.S. trade relationship and things. I think that the China-U.S. relationship is very, very critical in this century, especially the business side. So I think they are making progress on that.
Really? Because Trump's top trade negotiator just called China an unprecedented threat. The president blocked the takeover of a U.S. chip company, Lattice, by a Chinese private equity firm. What do you make of those moves? Well,
that happens here and there, and now and then when. And I think this is a way that if you see that optimistically or positively, there are conflicts, and they should making each other understand each other better. So I think the next 2 years there's a lot of conflicts all the time, but that whether it will be a fatal disaster, whether it's going to be things, it's rely on the wisdom of the leaders.
What about his tact on North Korea when he says the U.S. will totally destroy North Korea if they threaten us? Is that the right approach?
I have enough headache of myself, my business, because when I hear about that, I say, oh yeah, this is for people like us, we want a peace. We don't want people killing, but of course we care about the nuclear weapons that's going to destroy massive things. But I think this is, as a business people, I focus on creating jobs and doing good things, and the government have to do their right things.
So how about when it comes to your business in China? President Xi Jinping has been taking more steps to put restrictions on the internet. This is your business. What do you make of that?
You really feel that? I think not necessarily.
Well, the shutting down of the VPNs is just one example of late.
Okay, yeah. Well, we probably see a different view on that, because this is the way I see business. 18 years ago, in the past 18 years, this is our 18th year anniversary. For the past 18 years, I got questions by this China internet censorship and this and that all the time. But I am the first internet guy in China since 1995. We see the American has been enjoying democracy for 250 years, and China just started like the past 30 years. I would say past 30 years, China is learning a lot of things, is making progress. For these things, if there is a controlling here and there, it's like 3-5% issues. So what we should do is focusing on 90-95% of the positive things. And I think when the government, what shall I say? The governing or regulator of the internet is such a new thing to any government. People like me, I've been talking to thousands of hundreds of government officers every year, because I think it's my responsibility to tell them, don't worry about it. This is the way to do it, how to do it. So I never complain, and I try my best to educate them.
So you think they're ultimately going to be on the right side of history, the Chinese government?
Obvious. I am 100% for sure, because nobody can stop this technology revolution. Everybody's learning how to governing, how to regulate.
Yesterday, you celebrated the 3-year anniversary of Alibaba's IPO.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Amazon and Alibaba, the market caps have kind of been flirting with each other. I know that you have generally stayed in your own regional lanes, but as you become increasingly global companies, where do you see competing with Amazon directly?
Well, Amazon is an e-commerce company and very successful, and we respect a lot. But Alibaba is not an e-commerce company. We are e-commerce enabler. We are e-commerce infrastructure builder. So, as I said, people may like it. I say, our job is to enable more companies become Amazon. So when we see Amazon is doing good job, is successful, we're telling everybody, you know, e-commerce works. So we're not necessarily competing, but investors and the journalists always put us as competitor, because I spent very, very little time studying how can we compete with Amazon, is how we can learn from Amazon that empower more business can be more efficient on internet time.
They recently bought Whole Foods. You have been investing in groceries for a long time.
Yep.
I'm curious where you see similarities and differences in your strategies.
Yeah, we said in China, in the past 15 years, we grow so fast on retail. A lot of people say, well, we destroy retail, traditional retail. So the question we started to think about 5 years ago, destroying retail is not our purpose. Our mission is helping doing business easier. So we cannot helping the new retailer destroy the old retailer. So we say, how can we using our technology, our data, our market power to help in the traditional retailer? So it's not by destroying them, we want to enable them. So that's why we invest and buy a lot of traditional supermarkets, malls. We want to learn and then we want to help more. This is the opportunity.
Alibaba is trying for a third time to get approval for the MoneyGram acquisition, US money transfer company. What's plan B if that doesn't happen?
Well, I cannot actually, honestly, I leave this job for the Ali Enter Financial, Alipay to do that. And today I cannot make comments because I know so little. They are applying for the third times, so I cannot make a comments about that. I trust the world is going to be more open-minded, and the globalization should not stop it, and protectionism will stop. But today, for this period, it takes time for Chinese company and the American government or government to communicate, and some frictions will be helpful.
You've said that Alibaba will create 1 million jobs in the US by 2021. Tell us more. How many jobs so far? What kind of jobs?
Well, we think in 5 years, we started to agree last year, so in 5 years, we'll create 1 million jobs. We want to enable more small business in America, helping them to sell products to China, helping them sell products to Asia, which we are pretty good at it. And we think in China, we created 33 million jobs. So each business, if they are online, they can create at least 3 jobs. So we hope that we can help 1 million small business in America. They can list on the Alibaba site, and we help them to sell to Asia, to China. We had a successful Detroit conferences. We start testing, and I think we'll probably gear up next year.
Last question. You've said Alibaba has a 3, 5, and 10-year plan. What are those plans now?
Well, we are working on that, and we have not only 3, 5, 10. 3 years is the plan, and 5 years is the direction, is the strategy direction, and 10 years the vision, 20 years. Yeah. So we always have to think about the future, because since 1999 when I started the business, I said doing business on the internet, e-commerce, is like a 10,000 meters marathon running. So you should have run as fast as a rabbit, but you should have as patient as a turtle. You have to be very, very patient. You have to think big, think the future, and then you can be happy. Otherwise, you have so many problems.
Until 2101, 102 years is your plan, right?
Yeah.
2101. Why 2101?
Yeah,
Where'd you get
one
that
or 2
number?
years. Well, we were born in 1999. Last century we had 1 year, and this century we wanted 100 years, and plus 1 year, 102 years will cross 3 centuries. So every number you're giving to the team should be accurate. So the more accurate you are, the more serious you are, and your employees, your colleagues, your friends will take it seriously.
All right. Jack Ma, thank you so much for joining us. It's great to have you back here on Bloomberg. Thank you.
Thank you.